you tweeted out before, black folks aren't afraid of a second Trump term. Why did you have that sort of phrasing or that thinking behind? Or why aren't you afraid of a second Trump term?
Well, I'm not afraid because I'm a revolutionary. But I think that when I tweeted that out, it was because we knew that this fear mongering campaign was going to go into high gear, and that there were, in fact, some segments of the black community that would fall for it. That's the role of the black misleadership class, is to echo the talking points coming from massa, and so we knew and we know that that is going to, in fact, happen. We have to remind our folks, though, that we have survived a few hundred years in this settler colonial project. We have met forces much more powerful than a Donald Trump. Most of the presidents and administrations in this country have been opposed to the objective human rights of African people in this country. And we have survived, and we have, to a certain extent, thrived, if you will. So, when you understand who you are, understand your history, you know that 4 years of Donald Trump or 4 years of any of these pigs are not going to be enough to undermine our people. I'm more concerned with the possibility of a second Biden or Newsom administration, because when these Democrats are in power, it disarms and demobilizes the masses of the people. And these neoliberals are fascists. They are more of a threat than the populist threat coming from the Trumpian forces. Now, the Trumpian forces have there's some elements there that are very dangerous, no question about that. But I argue again that these are not the forces that control the U.S. state. You all talked about a few minutes ago what you characterize as something good when the Trump administration basically demobilized, if you will, the U.S. state against North Korea. And once they had the agreements between the U.S. and North Korea, what did the Koreans do? They stopped doing the tests. They stopped doing the international ballistic tests. They chilled them out. And somebody asked Trump, well, what happened? He said, because the threat, that as they proceeded, was from us. And I told them, don't worry about us. That's simple. Okay. Now that you said, the neoliberals freaked out because the neoliberal strategy is based on continued chaos.
Yes.
It's based on insecurity and fear. Therefore, that's the basis of them being able to suggest to their vassal states that they need U.S. protection. Okay, that's why the Congress came in after he chilled out North Korea and passed legislation blocking the possibility of Trump withdrawing forces from South Korea, as though that was going to be some kind of irresponsible move. Well, if you committed to peace and trying to bring about some kind of de-escalation, then why, in the time to end the Korean War, why not begin a process of bringing the truth from the U.S. from the U.S. From South Korea,
Yes.
But this is their angle. This is their agenda. It is perpetual war. That is the basis of full spectrum dominance. Okay, they're concerned with the Trump forces because, as we said, he has a slightly different strategy. He's not a peacenik. I mean, he will. He advocated for continued illegal occupation in Syria. He said, take the oil. Okay, he's a gangster. But and it's the gangsters like him that made the U.S. what it is. Okay, so it's these slight differences that make that some people are concerned with. But again, the big bourgeoisie, they're really not that concerned about Donald Trump. Okay, now they're concerned about the possibility of de-escalation in Europe to a certain extent, because it's all about the money. This Ukrainian war resulted in what? It resulted in record profits by both the military industrial complex and the energy companies. It's about money. Okay. And you equip the U.S. population into supporting this bullshit. So they want to continue with those kinds of policies. But the Trump enforcers say, look, y'all got to let our people in. Our people got to make some money too, and that's what the hustle is all about. Is an intra bourgeois struggle.
Yeah. Anything you want to add on this segment before we
Yeah,
move on?
I just wanted to say, all these talking heads when it comes to, Morning Joe, CNN, Fox News, anybody who's seeming, well, not Fox News, but anybody who seemed mad, even us, we all benefit from Trump being in office. That is not a lie. All of them want Trump back in office because he sells. Look at the ratings from mainstream media from when Trump left office. That shit went straight to the fucking ground. They need him back. When Bernie Sanders was running, you remember this? Bernie Sanders was running. He was doing a speech. They played his podium. Donald Trump empty podium. And they still made money off of that shit. We all benefit. All of us. You know how many fucking videos Kyle Kalinske and David Pakman about to be doing on Donald Trump? They about to make hundreds of thousands just talking about some fucking bullshit. They all benefit. We all do. And they gonna love it when he's back in. And then even if he was
Pakman had a stream with like 35,000 live viewers talking about some DeSantis shit. Like, bro, these motherfuckers about to eat good with Trump coming back. Go ahead, Rome.
They about to eat good with Trump back in office. It's not because everybody all pumped up. They pumped all this fear into you. Now you got Morning Joe yelling at you. Now you got independent media yelling at you, pumping all this fear into you. And now you're going to run back. What's going on now? What did Trump say? What did Trump say? What did Trump do? And all you're going to do is type in Trump. And you're going to see him right there. You're going to click their video and you're going to give them some fucking money for their fucking time. Oh, yes. We are going to love it. I'm going to love it when Trump back in office. Damn right. RBN need that motherfucking money. And we're going to have all these fucking liberals. All these liberals. All these people trying to find themselves. I don't know what to do. Man, come on. Come over here. We got you.
It's never a slow news day at RBN. Now I said before, whether Trump wins, I'm going to laugh. If Trump wins, I'm laughing at Biden. If Biden wins, I'm laughing at Trump again. Like when Trump lost to Biden, bro, I was clowning MAGA. I'm like, how you guys lose to Kamala Harris? You motherfuckers lost a general election to Kamala Harris. So I'm going to clown whoever lose. So it never slow news days to me.
But I predict this. There'll be no second Biden administration. Biden's not going to run.
Absolutely.
I feel that same way. I don't know how it's going to happen. That part I haven't thought out yet, Ajamu, but I have the same gut feeling that like the numbers, they know he can't debate. Like there's just, how is this going to happen?
Follow the money. Follow the money. The donors don't have confidence that Biden can win, and if they withdraw their money and they are talking about it, then Biden is through. Biden has no existence outside of his donor base. Yeah. That's why they are now pushing Newsom. Newsom is pursuing a strategy where he's not trying to necessarily differentiate himself from Biden. He's embracing Biden, but he's embracing Biden as the counter to Biden, if you will. Okay, right. No, it'll be Newsom.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. I think that too. I mean, why else would they do a debate against Ron DeSantis, who at one point people thought that he could be the nominee? But to Rome's point, when those disaffected people come here, this is what the message we're going to give, and I'll pass it to you, Nick, for the next segment. The message we're going to give is whether red or blue, whether Republican or not, what are we going to do, Nick? Nick is going to be in KC. He's still going to be having diaper runs. Doesn't matter. Joe Biden, Trump, doesn't matter. Rome's still going to be renovating the RBN library. Make sure you send in those revolutionary books, everybody. We'll get that address to you. I'm still going to be out here, different things. The Skid Row I want to do, and it's a new thing that I haven't announced, but I want to do some diaper runs to some women's shelters out here. We'll be doing that. And then we have Sabby in Boston doing her thing. We got JB in Orlando doing everything. It's not going to change. The people, you're still getting paid the same amount, whether Biden or Trump. It's the same. You're getting the same pay. It's the same police brutality that's happening, whether Biden or Trump. It's the same ICE. So doesn't change. And we need to stop letting these people make us feel like it's going to be so different when it's really just a dictation or dictatorship of capital that's in all the time. That's who wins every election is the dictatorship of capital. Go ahead, Jamal.
One difference in 2025, if Donald Trump does not in fact win, the U.S. will begin the process of spinning apart.
So can you detail that a little more? Explain a little more about what you mean by that.
The U.S. is an artificial nation, and basically, if Donald Trump is not allowed to run, or if a controversy emerges again where he does not win, you'll see a process of various states beginning to withdraw from the union, very similar to what happened in the U.S. In the late 1850s. Except that this time there's no national cohesion, and so you're going to see a process beginning of the U.S. Spinning apart as a nation state, in my opinion.
Wow.
That'd be interesting too.
That'd be dope as fuck. Break this motherfucker up.
I didn't see that coming, but I'm rooting for it. That would be interesting.
What is your take on whether that is positive? I guess you can't see the future. I guess it would be what does it turn into? But what is your take on that happening? If that were to happen, what do you like? What do you see that being? A positive, a negative, a step back, a step towards revolution, a forced revolution? Like what do you see in that happening?
Unfortunately, our forces are not going to be able to take full advantage of the chaos. It's going to be a very dangerous period because the fascistic tendencies will become even more pronounced. And for Black folks, it's going to be even more dangerous because as the country spins apart, and it'd be on the basis of regions also. Where are the majority of Black folks? They're in the South. Wow. Outside of the South, we're in 9 major urban areas. These urban areas, if it starts spinning apart, are going to be killing zones, okay? In the South, where do you have most of the military infrastructure? Right there in the South. So basically, and where are we still a minority, even though we are majority of our people in the South, still are a minority in these various states. So it's going to be very, very dangerous because the U.S. will be the last bastion of bourgeois rule, and who knows how this is going to play out. But I just don't see any national cohesion because the legitimacy crisis, the legitimation crisis is deepening. There is no commitment to something called the United States of America. That's why you have the mass killings.